first thing is this was my first event after the pandemic. It feels nice to come out and meet so many people. And I think we need to have more of this because when you hear others and their experiences, you sort of draw parallels to how it applies to you. And that's very important in the learning process and discovering yourself. I think first is take time to understand what are your interests. Get to know yourself first. Because when you get into an organization and you start first, you're starting with inputs either that you've seen or heard from others. And that's your first experiment ground to really play around and see what you enjoy. What are things that you would really like to carry forward and build on. And once you've got that perspective, start getting the bigger picture of that space. Like if it is analytics in healthcare, understand the full healthcare industry. Zoom into what's happening in India and then see how it applies to you as an individual. And then see what your portfolio should look like. And that's how you then again internalize to build, okay, these are some skills I need to build. I think that's one big advice I would give. If someone would have given me that, I think that would have been super cool in that 25 years. I think I'm going to give you this analogy with the Montessori schools. In the Montessori schools, when you start 0 to 6 and really discovering your individual self. And then 6 to 12, or I might be getting the years differently, there you start looking at how do you become a leader? How do you sort of work in a team? How do you sort of build that rapport? And then you go into leadership, which is how do you coach? How do you train? How do you, bring changes and things like that? I would draw an analogy to that in an organization. When you create a space where someone can really understand who you are, your individual self, invest in that, build that capability. The next phase, invest in the whole training for, building that leadership quality. And third, build the coaching and the leadership bit, which is more difficult and more different. I think the first thing is know yourself. Because once you know your value proposition, a lot of things start falling in place. The second is get a big picture and constantly build the big picture for yourself. And third would be start talking about it. Build your personal brand throughout. Don't wait for a later stage to build your personal brand. And similarly for men, if I have to advise, it's the same three things, but I also think it's important to understand what it means to be the rest of the team members.